All right, welcome everyone. Technical analysis of stock market, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We just had a catalyst today, and it ended up being some fluffy news that the Gilead treatment is not working or whatever. Again, this was all pump anyways. The point is, don't trade headlines. All right, when you saw the Gilead was successful and there was a pump based on that, that was fake news, fake pump basically. The headlines are there, a lot of them to pump the market. So now the truth is coming out, and or at least, this doesn't even have to be the truth. This could just be a fake headline to dump the market. So it's just something to pay attention to. But as it looks right now, that was the catalyst to create the next bear break. Here's the 1 minute chart on the triple Qs. Look at that. So here's the headline. Here's the rebound. All right. So you get the initial kind of algo headline that they just smash it. Then you get the rebound, but now you're seeing the follow through. So it's usually about the follow through. Where does the market go after, you get the initial reaction, then you get the snapback, then it's decision time. Does the market hold strength or does it follow through on the weak side? Looks like we're following through on the weak side, going to sell off. We'll see how the day closes. Again, there's Intel earnings coming out at the end of the day, so that has the potential to kind of change the dynamic here. But let's go ahead and look at the charts for what we have right now. Here's the Qs. Here's this uptrend line right here that we're dancing around the last couple days, starting to break that on this hourly candle. And this hourly candle is turning out to be a pretty impulsive sell candle, or sell signal candle. So if it continues and can hold, then that's going to give you a pretty impulsive sell signal. The point that all right, so here's the levels. Let's just point out these levels. So you got this uptrend line right here. That's 211.87. Let's see if we got a reaction around that on the 1 minute. No, we just kind of shot through it a little bit. So no reactions as of now. So we'll go ahead and, if this closes down, we'll go ahead and just mark out this uptrend line and call it good. So, eventually trend lines are no longer valid. But we do have 210.71. I see some support there. That's this gap right here. That's gap entry. But like I said in the last video, if we end up breaking this trend line 210 and we come down and break below 207, then we're going to probably do a gap fill on this gap right here, which puts us down around 203.50. And that sets us up for coming back down into this support range right here. 203.50, 204, somewhere right in there is a really large support range. And like I said in the last video, we've already tested it once here. We came back up. We got the impulsive bid off of it. Came back and tested it again. And another impulsive bid with the gap higher. If we come back down and test it again, then we're going to most likely break. The probability is much, much higher that breaks. And if that breaks, that's going to set us up for making a new lower low in this current hourly candle chart. Here's our high right here. Here's a lower high. So we haven't made a new higher high yet. We have a low, and if we break, we make a new lower low. That sets the trend up for a downtrend. And if we're downtrending, then that sets us up for, running back down to the lows on the triple Qs. So just want to point that out. Let's look at Apple. And then I want to point out something I'm seeing on Barrick. Here's Apple. Here's your support. Looks like we're just trying to hold it. Let's go to the 1 minute. See how that's doing. Just under it right now. This support has just been, we've been dancing around it the last couple days. So, it's really depends on what the market wants to do. If it breaks here, then we broke that support, or it could just continue to just, hold right around there. The point is, we're at support. Here's the daily. So if we get impulsive selling today, then that would be a break of this trend line on the daily chart. And that should set us up on the daily of the kind of a much larger time frame for the next leg down in Apple. Let's look at Microsoft. Check this out. Microsoft So here's your trend line right here, 173.51. That was your support slash resistance. That's your important level. We broke above it, but look at these candles, just not very impulsive breakout, just kind of hanging out there. And then we get the breakdown candle. So if this candle sticks and we close below that, then that should set us up for a further move down. And if Microsoft moves down, then I would expect pressure in the triple Qs, given the weighting that it has. The candles, there's the candle just closed actually right there. So we have a breakdown now in the hourly candle. So I would expect selling to pick up and continue. Going back to the triple Qs, that should pick up and continue. There's a breakdown in the triple Qs as well. Just barely, but it did break down. So I'd expect the triple Qs to break down as well. Microsoft might try to kick back and test it again from the upside and then break down. That's probably what will play out. Let's look at Barrick Gold, and then I'll wrap up the video. All right, guys. So, I'm still looking for bearish price action. I think we're going to get it. Starting to get some catalyst to set that in motion. But let's look at Barrick Gold here. Okay, so I closed out Barrick Gold today at this 28.40, basically 28.35, 28.40. It was right around there. The level that I had that made me want to close that out goes to the daily chart. If I roll out all the way back to 2000, goes way back in time. But look at this level right here. All right, now we had lots of reactions around this level back here. Some reactions around that level right here. Look at the gap. I know it's kind of hard to see if let me try to zoom in. See the gap right here? We gapped up right around that level. And you just gotta, I'm just trying to spot that level. But here's where it's really cleanly defined right here. In the daily chart back in 2013, you can see lots of reactions. It held as support and then it broke right there. And increased volume on the break. See the volume right there. So that is how I found that level. And I found it really from this cluster and then just kind of marked it back here. But as you can see today, if we zoom in, see if I can get there. Look what we tagged. Right there, we tagged it, had the reversals. As of right now, we're putting in the doji, a shooting star doji, which is a potential reversal candlestick. So, that's why I closed it. I figured we'd get a reaction right up around this major resistance. And so far we did. If this doji is in place and then we get more selling tomorrow, then that would be a reversal candle. And we also have a bearish rising wedge. See the bearish rising wedge that we're putting in on the daily chart in Barrick Gold? And if I zoom into the hourly, you can see it's a nice clean bearish rising wedge. We had a reaction here on the upside, reaction, and a reaction today. And then on the bottom, reaction, reaction here, and reaction. So bearish rising wedge is in place, running right into major resistance on the larger time frames. And then the RSI, if you look at the RSI on like the daily, pretty overbought at 76, 77. And that's a level where you see a lot of major reactions. Here's 78. We had a 15% pullback right there. So when we get that overbought in this stock, we end up getting, some pullbacks around that level. Here's a pullback that was 18%. And so everything is set up right now. It looks bearish in this stock. So I'm looking for a break of the bearish rising wedge, a pullback, probably down to this 21 level or so. And then we'll start to look to reload back up. And that's where I'm at. That's what I decided to do on this stock. And just to show it out, call it out, there's the profit that I made. I just bought the stock yesterday. I bought it back. I mean, I've been owning Barrick for a while, so I've caught most of the upside. I missed a little bit of the upside the day before, but bought it back yesterday, sold it again today. Just a quick one day, $3,600. And that's, again, it's just trading the chart. So if this chart changes, if this setup changes, if this reversal candlestick changes and we end up kind of holding and breaking up higher, then I'll change my posture. But as of right now, looks like this is close to the top of this kind of most recent move. Bigger picture, Barrick's in a bull market. So when you look at the weekly chart, I mean, that is just explosive on the weekly. From the lows there, that thing from the lows is up 125% basically in a period of 6 weeks. So that is extremely explosive, probably a little bit overdone. The weekly is actually getting pretty overbought too. We're right at 70. So we look for a weekly pullback, maybe down to this 21, try to burn off some of this bullishness, and then we look for the bull market to continue. Barrick is in a longer term bull market, so we'll look for that to continue. That's really it, guys, for the video. Like everyone, just go ahead and hit that like button. Appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.